believe that we've got the answer to all this. To racism and inhumanity and violence and all the things that plague man because of the very nature of man. People say we've got to change all this without realizing the nature that we possess is what the Spirit of God pulls against. Were it not for the Spirit of God, and I truly believe this, my friends, were it not for the Spirit of God, we would digress into chaos and anarchy, because all that's left is the spirit of this world. And the spirit of this world is not kind and benevolent. The Spirit of God is what acts as the buffer. So when we say, God, why don't you do something? He said, I did do something. Today's Pentecost Sunday. I sent my Spirit. He said, I must go away, but I will send to you a helper. I will send to you the Paraclete, the one to stand alongside. I will send to you the one to interpret, to strengthen, to teach, to guide, to provide a sense of understanding to all these things. He has shown us the way we should walk, and the love that we should share, and the laws that we should obey. And yet we refuse to do those things and ask, why, Lord, don't you do something? And he said, I've already done it. I've given you the way. Y'all are just not following. I'm sure you've heard the story, the joke about the folks on top of the house in the flood up on the roof. And there was a guy coming, he said, the Lord's going to save me, the Lord's going to save me. The guy come by in a boat and he said, I don't like your boat, it's not big enough, I'll wait for something else, the Lord's going to save me. Another guy come by, he said, you're too crowded, I don't like that boat, not going to go with you, you've got animals, it's not good, it's not clean. So then the waters came up, the guy drowned. He got there and said, Lord, thought you were going to save me. He said, I sent you 2 boats, what more do you want me to do? The Lord sends us what we need. He's given to us what we need. But we as human beings are walking around with a blindfold on going, we need to find something that we can understand. We need to declare this in the way that we want, when the Lord said, I have given you the path. I have given you the walk. I have given you the Word. I have given you the Spirit. And y'all are walking around looking for something else. And it's falling apart around you. And then you come and say, Lord, why are you not doing something? I've thought many times, were it me, I would have backhanded the whole bunch a long time ago. You know, do you not understand? They're just shame. I was watching this little video, and it was cute, but it was kind of mean. It was kind of embarrassing, but it was very funny. It was a father and his little girl. He had a closet rod. You know, if you've ever put up a closet rod, there's one end that's round that you put up, and the other end has a little cutout in the top where you put this end in the part that's closed and you drop it in the end that's open. He asked her to put up the closet rod. So she put this end in first, where it's in the open end, and was trying to get it in the closed part. That doesn't work. And she was trying to bend it, 2-inch closet rod. Bend it to make it work. Anything. I'm going to make it work. And she was like, he kept saying, if only there was one part of it that was open to where you could put it in. She said, yeah. He said, does it need to be open on this end? And she said, yes. So it needs to be like this one. Yes. And she would put the end in that one and try to put it over there. Said, so it needs to be like this one. Yes, she said. 5 minutes this went on. And he was just, that's the mean part. He kept it going. But it was pretty funny. And she was laughing. She wasn't frustrated. She was just trying to figure out, she said, it needs to go, just drop. Said, so it needs to be like that one. Yes. finally said, well, maybe, think about where it needs to go first. And she come over, dropped it in. It's like, oh. She had the tools and even the knowledge, but lacked the wisdom of how to apply it. We're like that girl so many times. We're standing there we have the capacity, we have the means, and we're working it the opposite way, going, Lord, why does this not work? Why don't you do something? He said, I have. Y'all are too ignorant to know it. In our world today, so many are seeking simple answers to complex issues. Trying to bring about things for their agenda. So much of what's happening in our world today is not we're trying to find a solution. It's like we're trying to find an answer to the way that I want it to be. And I understand that those of us who are always right are very frustrated by those of you who are always wrong. I know that. But in our world, we can't be looking at this from this perspective. There is an answer. There is a way. We should place... Many people get so frustrated with this world, believers who cannot understand the world in which we live and are very intimidated by it and don't feel overwhelmed by it, that they turn all their energy to the second coming. Things will be better when the Lord returns. Amen to that. But until that point in time, we've got to live here. And the Lord said, not only do you live here, He said you need to abide in me and thrive. Our rest, our hope, does not reside in politics, does not reside in power movements, it does not reside in sociological change. The reality of what the Spirit of God brings to this world is the solution. It is the hope. The Lord said, I have given to you the tools. You just don't know how to use them. I've given to you everything you need. We have a can opener at the house. It's Pampered Chef, I think. And when it's one of the little turn can openers. Except you put it on the top of the can and turn it this way, and it cuts it around the outside. Most of us grew up with the one that goes on the side, right? So at church many years ago, not here, I'd taken so we opened up big cans for like a church supper, the big cans. And I'd taken it because it worked really well. The lady was over there, and she picked it up and was putting it on the side and just turning, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. And I said, you turn it the other way. Went to the other side of the can, put it on. No. Flat. And she looked at this and looked at the can, and the light did not go on. Because it was not what she expected. It was not what she was used to. It was not what she understood. So many times we try to make what the Lord gives us work the way we want it to. We try to force the square peg in the round hole. We try to make it work. In my world, mechanics and doing the things I've done over the years, there comes a time when you really feel the need to pick up a big hammer and do fine adjustment on something to make it work. And chances are you can make it work once. When I was at Crossmill School, one of the house parents had locked something up in their place with a padlock. Said, do you think you could get it open? I said, oh yeah. I said, do you have a key? I said, yes. So I come with a 36-inch pair of bolt cutters. Said, but that's going to mess it. I said, you wanted the key. This will open it. Once. You see, the Lord has provided for us. He's given us the tools. He's given us the means. He's given us His very Spirit to abide in us. And so many in the world today have turned their back on that, trying to figure another way, and it results in chaos and death and violence and all the things that are harbored in our world. And the deceiver is going around taking all of these things and mixing it up and creating the chaos that's in our lives, in our world, and in our mind, and causing so many that are believers to begin to question and push away, saying, why are things this way? If we look at chaos and wonder at God's activity, sometimes inactivity, we must sometimes realize that we're just not seeing what He's doing. We're just not seeing it. He's not forgotten. He did not forget Jesus hanging on the cross. He has not forgotten us. The cross had been a part of God's plan since the beginning of the foundation of the world. This day, today, is a part of God's plan. Ways that we don't understand. Now, the deceiver, the forces of this world, the nature that we possess is the antithesis. It's